happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is having a great day and has had a wonderful weekend. I know I have. Yesterday, let me think, we did grocery shopping and we did some other little stuff, and then we grabbed some dinner and we got in bed. I think I got in bed at like 7:30. Yes. 7:30. I had given baths, everything. Yes. Okay, so back to this. So today I am showing you some easy Thanksgiving recipes. So easy. Like literally, if you wake up Thanksgiving morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get some food made, this is the recipes that you want to go to. So simple and easy. Let's get started. First off, before we start any sides or anything, we want to go ahead and get our meat portion already made. So if you do not want to wait for 6 hours or more for a 20 pound, 12 pound, 14 pound, I don't even know how many pound turkey, you can do a shortcut, which is a turkey breast, which takes 2.5 hours, maybe 2, give or take. It depends on how high you have your oven. I usually cook a turkey breast. My husband likes for me to cook some Thanksgiving foods every year just to have at the house leading up to Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving, just for us to eat on, because we usually go out of town to visit my family, which is in Georgia. And my mom, of course, makes a spread and it's all delicious, but we don't do a roasted turkey. My mom and my dad either fry a turkey or she roasts. Like this year, she's doing Cornish hens. And so my husband likes the turkey and my kids as well. So I like to do a shortcut version of turkey, which is a turkey breast. So this is just, I don't even know how many pounds. Honestly, I didn't even look. It was just, I purchased it at the grocery store. Well, I actually purchased it at Target. They had their turkey breast and turkeys on sale. And so, which my husband did, you've seen in the grocery haul. If you see this, you'll see the grocery haul before you see this video. But if you have not seen that grocery haul, go check it out and you'll see that he did purchase 2 turkeys because they were like $5 each. So who's gonna pass that up? We could do something with it. Make turkey sandwiches, turkey tetrazzini, turkey something. We'll do something with the turkeys. Anyway, so I've got a turkey breast right here in this pan. I've already sprayed my roaster, my well-used roaster. I've had this roaster, you guys, for I know over 6 years. I think my 6-year-old, yes, my 6-year-old, because he's 6 now. I bought this at, where was that at? Macy's. I bought it at Macy's Christmas sale back in like 2015. Yeah, at the end of 2015, I bought it. Me and my mom had went to Macy's and they had them. And of course, it was all nice and shiny and pretty. But this has been well used. And I really love this roaster. And it's clean, but it's rustic because it's been well used. That's what rustic means. Anyway, so I've already washed it and cleaned it. I've sprayed my pan with just some cooking spray so it won't stick. I'm going to go ahead and add some chicken broth to the pan because this is going to roast on 325 degrees covered. So I'm going to use the top part of it. And I've got a whole container of chicken broth that I'm using. Because, of course, the drippings, we're going to make our gravy to go over our dressing. Okay, now for the spice part, I've got 1 stick of melted salted butter. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I've got some granulated, not granulated, sorry, I'm on something else. I've got some ground black pepper. I've got some Better Than bouillon. This is all that my husband said he could find in the store because we have not been able to find the powdered seasoning, bouillon seasoning. I don't know why. We've got some parsley, some rosemary, some onion powder, of course, some paprika. I've got some poultry seasoning and granulated garlic. That's where the granulated coming from. And those are the only spices. Now, typically I do like to use herb of Provence, but I do not have any more. I will have to get that because I use that for my prime rib for Christmas. So you will see that when I make, I will make a Christmas turkey breast because that's what I make for Christmas for my family. Turkey breast and prime rib. So we're going to make do with this. So simple and easy. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to coat my turkey all over with this melted butter. And I know some people are just like, turkey breast, dry. I promise you, you may not even want a turkey anymore after you use this. Even though it's a turkey, but it's just the breast part. Because it's going to be so succulent and juicy and moist and flavorful. Then I'm going to coat it with, of course, that olive oil. The olive oil is going to make it moist, but it's going to crisp up the skin. The butter just penetrates and tenderizes and flavors the meat. That's what it does. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and add black pepper. And I've got some gloves. We're going to rub this baby down. She's got to be rubbed down. Got some onion powder. And you can do the same recipe in the crock pot or in the Instapot. Okay, paprika. Come out. Okay. Now I've got some of this, of course, poultry seasoning, and this has salt in it. Most poultry seasonings don't, but this does. Got some granulated garlic. And it looks rough right now, but we're gonna rub it in, make it look nice. And then I forgot also a little bit of brown sugar, just about a half a teaspoon of brown sugar. Will not be sweet. Just little sugar flavors it really well. Okay, and now for this portion, we're gonna go ahead and rub it in before we put the Better Than Bouillon seasoning on there. So you're just gonna kind of rub it in to get those seasonings all in there. And you don't have to lift up the skin or put none of that. You don't have to do any of that. I'm telling you, it will be very flavorful all the way through. And the reason you don't see me with salt, because there's salt in this Better Than Bouillon seasoning, so we don't want it to be salty. It has tons of salt in there because it's pretty much just like if you were to use the chicken bouillon seasoning. It has salt. But if you don't want to use that, just use salt. And then we're gonna, of course, after an hour and a half, we will use some of the drippings and we will baste the turkey. So it's gonna be flavorful all the way through. Now, I'm gonna take one of my gloves off because I don't want to contaminate anything. And I'm just gonna get some of this Better Than Bouillon seasoning and just coat it up with that. Yes. Okay. And then I'm just gonna rub that in all over our turkey. These spices smell so good. I know y'all hear little voices in the back. Some of my kids are down here playing. So those are those little voices that y'all hear. If you are a mom, then you understand. Kids like to stay close when you're cooking. Or a dad, you know. Or a grandma. Or both, you know. Okay, so we've got that coated beautifully, just slathered. Now we're gonna add our herbs. I'm gonna take this glove off. I'm gonna add our herbs. Okay. I'm gonna add just a little bit more pepper. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do is set our timer, put the top on our roaster, and put it in the oven. Set our timer. Take you over here. I've got it set on 325, but I'm gonna do 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it has an insert, of course, inside where it will let you know when it's done. So you definitely know that that will pop out right at about 2 hours. But once we get to that 2 hour mark, after we've been basting, we're gonna take off the top and let that 20 minutes kind of crisp up the skin. We've got the turkey in. That's the most important thing right now that needs all the attention and needs the oven, unless you have like a double oven, which I don't. So that's going to cook for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it should be completely done. And then you just, of course, we're going to put the top back on it to let it rest, to let all the juices come back in it once we've cooked up the skin, and just set it to the side. Don't cut it. Don't do anything to it until you're ready to serve it, or at least 15 to 20 minutes. So all the juices can go back inside and it will stay juicy and moist. Okay, so on to the next easy super dishes. Green bean casserole. If you don't like it, just still watch the video because it looks delicious when it's done. We've got green bean casserole. These are the ingredients you need. Of course, we'll use some butter, we'll use some seasonings, and that's it. So these 3 things: cream of mushroom, green beans, onions. Okay, now on to a really delicious staple that you have to have, of course, on Thanksgiving or besides some turkey. Sweet potato casserole, yes. So I've already cooked my sweet potatoes. They are completely cooked, so soft. I will just, once they cool, I'll probably get one of my kiddos to remove the skin for me and mash these potatoes up. But these are the ingredients that I use. I use sweetened condensed milk, and I have, of course, I'll melt a stick of butter. I use vanilla, half a cup of brown, half a cup of white, sugar, and cinnamon. That's it that I use. Oh, and I use, that's it. That's all I use. What you see is what I have out. And then I do a crumb topping. That's what I was about to say. I couldn't think of the name of it. And then I'm like, I use a crumb topping. So you can do marshmallows. I do both. But for Thanksgiving, we typically like the casserole portion with the crumb topping on top. So all this is a pack of pecans, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a cup of all-purpose flour, and half a cup of brown sugar. And then I'll do 1/4 of a cup of softened butter. It's softening up, and I'll show you once that's done, but it will be crumbly. That's what makes it the crumb topping. So that is all the ingredients for the sweet potato casserole. Now for the next staple. Oh, the greens. We'll do greens into the Instapot. So simple and easy. They won't have to cook all day. You won't have to just be like, oh my goodness, 12 minutes. That's all for the greens. They are soaking right now in 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar and water. So they're fine when it's time. And they're also sitting by the Bible. Anyway, so we know they're going to be good. Okay, now, of course, the main showstopper. Cornbread dressing. Some people say cornbread dressing. Some people like stuffing. It's just what people like. I am from the South. We eat cornbread dressing. So we don't do like the corn. I've seen some cornbread dressings where it's like cornbread and then French bread or some type of other bread. I've never had that before. I'm pretty sure it's delicious. But I am just sticking with what we love. My whole family makes it. My mom makes it. I even have a video from last Thanksgiving where my mom made the cornbread dressing. And so you should check that video out if you have a chance. But I'm following her recipe. So you'll see, you can go watch her do it step by step, or you can watch me. I'm going to follow her same exact recipe. So back in September, my parents came to visit me. And my mom and my dad both cooked us dinner the day before they left. Like, they did fried chicken, they did collard greens, they did fried corn, they did cornbread, and some other stuff they did. It was so delicious, but she saved the remaining of the cornbread for me. So this is the remaining cornbread, and then I had a couple of pieces, I think like 4 or 5 pieces from when I made cornbread a while back. So all she did was put in a Ziploc bag and she froze it for me. And she said, when you want to make the dressing, all you have to do is take this out. This is one step that saves you time. So I was like, oh my God, thank you. So this cornbread is already made. It's not cornbread that I made today. It's just cornbread that was frozen. I unthawed it and it's ready to be crumbled. So I'll have one of the kids to crumble that up and I'll give you all the ingredients when we make that. So that's where we are for right now with all the easy Thanksgiving things. Of course, we're not having any, you know, it's not Thanksgiving yet, so we're not doing the pies. We're not doing, you know, all the other stuff that we will have actually on Thanksgiving. But I'm just showing you some shortcuts for what you can put on your table if you have to go to someone's house, or if you are having Thanksgiving by yourself, or just a small group of people, or whatever it may be, or you've got to bring a couple of dishes. It does not have to be stressful. It's super easy, and it will taste like you have been cooking it for hours. Hey guys, so now we're going to start on our cornbread dressing. So right now I'm going to start with the stock. I've got some 2 stalks of celery that I have cut up, and then I've just got some carrots and onions that I'm just going to throw in there. So it's just diced up. I'm going to throw in 3 bouillon cubes, chicken bouillon cubes. Got the little cubes, but I don't have the little seasoning packs, the dry seasoning. And this is the stock that will go inside of our cornbread dressing. I'm going to do some onion powder, some poultry seasoning, some granulated black pepper. I keep saying granulated black pepper. Some ground black pepper. Granulated just means finely ground anyway, so it technically still is. If I was using a peppercorn. And then some granulated garlic. I'm going to put some parsley in there. Some paprika. And I'm going to add water. Add my water. I'm going to do about 3 cups of water. And this is going to simmer for about 30 minutes. I forgot to add one more thing. 1 stick of butter. Add all the ingredients and whip up the sweet potato casserole. I'm going to set that to the side, and now I'm going to do our crumb topping. What I showed you, half a cup of flour, half a cup of brown sugar, and then a pack of pecans, or you can use whatever type nut that you like, almonds, walnuts. It's really good with pecans though. And that's one, oh, I've got to take some of that. I need a 1/4 of a stick. I'm sorry. 1/4 of a stick, which is a 1/2 a stick of butter. Yeah. Too much butter. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to smush this together. and make that crumb topping. I set the butter out, and I should have cut it up before, but it's fine. Yeah, you want your butter to be completely softened so you can make the crumble. But too much butter will cause it to just be a mess. I'm gonna be honest with you. It won't be a crumble. I'm gonna use my hands to just kind of crumble everything up. And show you guys, because I just took them out of the Instapot and put them in the pan, so they are piping hot, but they are so good, and I mean they are so good. And I'm gonna wrap this up, and this dish is done. Okay guys, so now we are back. We've got our turkey taken out, and I'll show you that in a second. It's resting. We got our greens ready. We've got our casseroles in the oven. Not broccoli, I'm saying broccoli cheddar, that sounds good. We've got our green bean casserole and our sweet potato casserole. And now we're gonna make our cornbread dressing. I have the cornbread that I showed you earlier, broken up really fine. I have 2 large eggs. I have 1 container of the cream of chicken, the cream of mushroom. My mom also uses cream of celery, but I forgot to get that. So it's fine, it is no biggie. It is going to be fine. So all I'm gonna do right now is just add the remaining ingredients. This is that stock, and it smells so good, that I cooked with the chicken. I'm gonna break some of the chicken up, of course, and put inside along with all of this stock. And this makes about 3.5 cups. So this is how it should look. Just some of the pieces of chicken that I scraped off there. If you have breast, you can use breast or boneless, skinless thighs. That would be ideal too. Okay. So got that in there. Now I'm going to put 1/4 cup of oil, just like if you were making cornbread. You know that oil goes in cornbread. So this will not be oily, but you put oil or butter in cornbread. So just know that everything that you would put in cornbread, you want your cornbread not to be crumbly and dry, because it's going to be nasty. So I did 1/4 cup of oil in this. I'm going to do, of course, about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now I'm going to add, of course, my mom does not add granulated garlic, but I'm going to add some garlic. We're going to do some paprika, some black pepper, and that is it. We're going to mix this on up. And this will bake on 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you everything is ready and we're about to eat dinner. I've already made the gravy. It's in the pan, but look how juicy and succulent this breast is. It's so juicy and succulent. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to slice it and show you how it looks. But this is it, and I'm going to show you everything, how everything looks. Hey everybody, so this is everything plated up. Me and Cameron was eating. The turkey was so tender it was falling apart, so we couldn't even really slice it up any better than what it is. So it's so succulent and juicy. This is our turkey breast. This is our turkey gravy, our collard greens, our delicious creamy cornbread dressing. I cannot wait to show you how creamy it is. our green bean casserole. Of course, we've got our cranberry sauce and our sweet potato casserole, and we are scarfing it down. I even found us these cute. So I've got some hungry and fussy, tired little toddlers. I'm gonna go ahead and get them fed and get them in bed. And these are the little plates I even picked up from Walmart. I thought that would be fitting for this meal. And no messy cleanup, of course, with the pans as well. So yes, we are about to eat. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. These easy, delicious, quick sides for Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys next video. Bye. Just to see how moist that cornbread dressing is. Yes. Oh, and it's so hot. It's so good. I'm gonna put some gravy on it. Yes, so ready to eat.